the sun are one. Soham asmi. It has a power to revolutionize. What will someone fear who knows that he carries the divine within him, the immortal, eternal essence? Who will be afraid? If he knows that the divine is carrying him, both ways. Will we ever feel despair about the world or feel hopeless if we are aware that the world is a movement taking place in the eternal, impelled by the eternal, moving towards a grand culmination of disclosure of the eternal? What a bold, wonderful something that this world is a progressive manifestation of the divine. This is the real essence of Dharma. So spirituality, of course we know, we talk about it, it's one of the most catchwords nowadays. It's one of the words most commonly marketed also, unfortunately. But the word most misunderstood. What does spirituality say? Its essence. It says, you and the source are one. What a bold declaration. Okay, we may need priests in between, but even the priest is within us. Agni Mide Purohitam. He is the priest of the sacrifice. The priest who is the one who will take us to the divine is within us. It removes at once all these external, it's not that they are not required, I will come to that, but the real stuff is inside. So that's why I said from here, a new tourism start. The tour de worlds, not world, because there are many, many worlds. What a discovery we made long back before the string theory, and now the latest is E theory, which is coming up recently. But this long back we discovered that there is not one word but many words. Jagat Tyam Jagat. Many things which are in motion within a universe of motion, and who is at the center of it is Isha. Ishavasyamidam sarvam vidati. From there the philosophy of Indian life starts. Because he is in everything, therefore, tena tyaktena bhunjita magrida kasya sviddhanam. Meaning thereby, by renouncing you enjoy. What a wonderful thing. In psychology I use this so often, in practical life also. People are suffering because they want some happiness. They don't have happiness. So they go to, when people come to Pondicherry, they have to make a choice. The choice is between wine and divine. Both are the best quality. Except that one makes you lose your consciousness and the other makes you gain all your consciousness. Yeah, it is true, you check on the website, though they advertise only the wine, I believe, wine and food, but there is another kind of food you get here. The food as we find nowhere. The food that's within each morsel of anna. You see, when we go to dining room, what is written there? The food you eat in the dining room has the mother's force in it. Food, annam brahmeti, we have read this beautifully in the scripture. But even that morsel of food can contain all the divinity within it. That's how Sri Krishna says, don't need that little rice that says, I am the... So that is the power of Indian thought, a power which can revolutionize the world. It is going to do so. Just wait and watch how it is going to change things. The present century, of course, belongs to Asia and India. And now things are becoming more and more evident. But to come back to the essence, what is the Indian spirituality? Indian spirituality made a bold threefold declaration. One is that the divine that we seek is within us. Not only is within us, myself in my deepest essence is divine. Soham asmi. Then the second declaration, not only is in me, that is half truth. When Ravana said, Aham Brahmasmi, it's a great truth but half truth. It can lead to problems. So it's not only in me, but in all. Tattvamasi, you also are that. And this you is not just human beings, but all the creatures, animals, plants. We don't need to learn that. Say what? must not only save, we must take care of everything. Why? Because in everything dwells the divine presence. And the third word declaration that whichever way you go, the center of all things is the divine, but also the ever expanding circle and circumference. You cannot just escape it. So there is the larger context, the Vishwa, the world. What is this world? In whom it is established, in whom it is moving, how scientific is that? On what is this world established? In which is it moving? Who is impelling it? These were the questions therein. When I read the Kena Upanishad, I was so mesmerized that it starts with a question of questions. Being a psychiatrist, all kinds of psychological questions which are so puerile, very frankly. It starts with a question, by what impelled thought reaches its mark. Look at the starting point. Who impels the thought to reach where it goes? And then it goes on to discover that which is beyond the thought. Janman sanamante yena hurmanomatan tadeva brahman tam viddhi edam yadam upasana. So there is something beyond the mind. This is another great discovery. Wonderful discovery. Science is struggling to reach that point. And I am so happy that all this was served to us on a platter. The secret of immortality, that which is beyond the mind. So Indian spirituality is a wonderful, many-sided, synthetic approach towards thought. It was not that one rishi discovered everything. They allowed for multiplicity of approaches to discover the truth. It didn't matter. Call it truth. Satyam, Hritam, Prahatam. Don't have to use the word God. Don't have to use any word. Call him Divyam. Divyam is what? The purest, most beautiful essence of everything. Call it the ultimate. Tat. That. That's all that is required. That with a capital T. Tat. What is that? So it did become a stickler of names. I had a friend, still is there, so very good friend. So whenever he will meet me, he will jokingly say, Sab ka Malik hai. So I said, yes, but don't say that only my Malik is Sab ka Malik. Sab ka Malik hai, but we can call him by any name. Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. If you cut the first part from the second, see what a complete statement of truth. Ekam Sat, truth is one, that's true. But the why is called by many names, it doesn't matter. And these names are at once Nirgun and Sagun. If you go back to the original Aditya, not Aditya, but Vishnu Sahasranam, originally in the Veda, you see that the names are both Nirgun and Sagun. It's very interesting. He is without form, he is with form, he is with qualities, without qualities. He is this and that, he is not this and not that. If nothing else, for the sake of mental intelligence development, if you read Indian philosophy, the mind will become so vast and you learn to handle complexity. And I am not joking, on a very practical level I am saying, one of the things people fight with each other, my thing or your thing or my way or your way, if you read Indian thought, at the end you say, well, the rishis say neti, neti, not this, not that, but they also say iti, iti, this also and that too. It brings wideness, it brings suppleness. Just merely reading, forget about realizing is the next step. But then Indian thought didn't stop there. It says it's not. We don't want to just believe. It's not a belief system. For God's sake, who will be satisfied with a belief system? Not youngsters. I was going to say like us, okay. Yeah, young is one who always is seeking. That's what Agni is. He is the youngest of the young, the offspring. So who would be satisfied with the belief system in today's time? You have to believe God is there. You have to believe this is like this. You have to believe it is that. Who will be satisfied by believing except somebody who is either too gullible or somebody who is so inert he doesn't want to put in effort. So Indian thought said, you may start with belief, but you can realize it. That is called yoga. So India, the second gift of India is not just spiritual philosophy, not just Vedanta, the Upanishads, the Gita, but the way of life. There is a yoga in the Vedas, there is a yoga in the Upanishad, there is a yoga in the Gita, there is a yoga in the Tantra, there is a yoga that they have given. The path to become one with that which is the source. How wonderful. What life would be without this yoga? So yoga literally means to join, which is why we suffer. We go to psychiatrists, we go to the wine shop. Why? Because we don't have this natural joy and love within. That's why people fight with other person and say, you were supposed to love me and you didn't love me, and so on and so forth. Why do we need that? The source of love is inside us. Why do we need to go elsewhere to buy happiness? And the source of happiness is within us. Knowledge is within us. Power is within us. What is the greatest empowerment? Today only I was sharing this somewhere. People said, but what about women empowerment? I said, we are our own way. Don't teach us women empowerment by telling us that women rights. You will go and file a court case. How dare he do this to you? That's not women empowerment. We have a singular example of women empowerment. This is the Chaitra Navratri, Sita's life. See her double empowerment. On one side, when she is in Lanka, she is held captive by Ravan, who is offering her lures of the three worlds. All the gods will be your servant. Just be my queen. She refuses. But she holds the power of love. This is the part. She's not given up. Look at her courage, her faith, her confidence. And then she's not weepy like those television serials. She is so strong that once when Ravan comes with his Chandrahas and says, I have killed Rama. Are you not coming with me? Otherwise this will be your fate. And Sita picks up as the story goes, blade of grass, puts in front. Says, dare not cross this. And Ravan stops. So people say, fantastic story, blade of grass and Chandrahas. Because we knew that even in blade of grass, there is the divine. The mool of even Trin is Divya. And if we understand it, life will change. Anything. That's what there's so much of science technology in Ramayana, but it's not the time to speak about it, which you discover one day that everything contains within itself divine. And you can use anything to safeguard yourself, provided you empower it. That's why we see in India you have so many things which are worshipped. A stone becomes an object of worship, a tree becomes an object of worship, a river becomes an object of worship. Somebody told me that you are idolaters. I said yes, because we believe that everything is an idol of God. Everything is a shrine of God. So what's the problem with that too? Because idol is, we are not only worshipping idol here, but everything is the shrine of the illimited. So it's so beautiful. The river we worship. Now we have to discover all these things. So this is the second part, yoga. And the third thing which we gave, very beautiful, is dharma. Dharma literally translated law. Sanatan dharma, the eternal universal law. Meaning thereby, before the courts come into play and punish you or reward you, there is an inbuilt, ingrained reward and punishment within the human psyche. And none can escape it. You do a karma in a state of narrowness, selfishness, you will become more and more constrained. You will be filled with fear, suspicion, unhappiness. You do a karma with a heart which is generous, unselfish, you will be full of joy. And when you are full of joy, you don't need things which are outward. So there is an inbuilt mechanism. It's a very vast subject, not going into that. So there is third is dharma. So dharma is that which helps us connect with the one who has become the many in one word. And adharma is all that which takes us away from the one. And there are a whole lot of philosophies and systems which do that. Again, not going into it. Dharma is sukshma. It is inbuilt within. Dharma is not just an external act. It is the motive. Indian thought gives so much importance to motive than the action. That's why people can't understand how Arjuna's slaying of his own relatives can be considered as dharma. Because Arjuna's motive is very different. Karna is also doing, but Karna's motive is very different. So we paid attention to motives. And finally, to cut a long, wonderful story, short, bit abruptly, that we try to link the one divine with every sphere of life. Be it art, music, science, geography, history. What is history? Shri Krishna summarizes in one sentence. Lok Sangraha, the march of mankind forward. And to just bring it to a quick close, even in the outer gestures and postures, we connected it with spiritual life. So we don't say hi, it sounds like go away. Hi. Say namaste or whatever you want to say, vanakkam. But we instinctively, all Indians across, you may use different languages, but have you ever seen an Indian do like this? Now we are getting corrupted. Wherever you go to Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, the instinctive thing, we know that God is here. So we may do like this, Vanakkam, Bharatnatyam, whichever way, This is the seat of God, and we bow down. The divine presence within me bows down to the divine presence in you. We may make a shortcut of this. Namaste. But this is inbuilt in the Indian family. That's why we could be together despite languages. People say languages unite. Nonsense. Put two people of the same language in the same room, even married by a nuptial knot, and see how they fight. Worse, because they know each other's abuses. And put two people of different languages together, but who are open in the heart to the spiritual influx, and see how they will join. Just like all of us have joined here together. We don't know each other, and yet we feel connected. Why? Because we are wired through the heart. We are not wired through the mind. Mind will divide your language, my language. And then you start proving superiority. Even though Shiva with his right thumb brought out Sanskrit and with the left hand brought out Tamil, still there will be fight. But when we understand we are children of the same mother, the same heart beats within us, and where is the fight? So India gave us the key to world unity, national unity and world unity. So my friends, brother, sister, if there is anything worth preserving in this world, it is the Indian civilization. And I am sure that it will be preserved, because with India lies the hope of the world. If Sanatana Dharma goes, it means the divine has taken the decision that the world goes. And if Sanatana Dharma lives, take it that the world will live regardless of all the dangers and calamities. Thank you so much, and wish you all